Hey, how's it going, everyone? I just wanted to make a little video, talk about Resident Evil for a bit. I've been playing these games for 20 years, and it's just really interesting to me because I see a lot of other people talk about this stuff, and I don't know, it's definitely my favorite franchise of anything, but it still surprised me that so many other people like it too because it seems like such a kind of niche thing or whatever. But I really love the games. I think they're really fun. So I just was kind of going to talk about my kind of little collection here and share some of my memories. And there's some things I wonder about too, and I wonder if anybody has any thoughts. So please comment on them. And I want to talk about the first thing. This is the original long box. The first 100 or so PlayStation games that came out had this style of box. There was a couple different ones. There was like a plastic one, a paper one, but this is the only one that Resident Evil came in. And now it's really interesting because they changed the cover. There's three versions of this. There's this version, then they came out with the director's cut, and then later there was a director's cut greatest hits, which had just the face of the zombie, which was also on the Saturn version. I really miss these long box cases because you can really get a lot more art on them, and it was better when they went with the later PlayStation games where you would make the boxes longer, and you can just get a lot more art in on that. And this thing, one of the things I want to bring up is kind of just back in the schoolyard and stuff talking about this. Everybody always used to say, or I remember there being a rumor that this had every monster and every weapon on the cover, like kind of hidden in some way. And I forget how I first heard that or where that started from. And I always just look at this because it's hard to tell even what the hell you're looking at. And I don't know, like if somebody could really explain it to me, it'd be great. But I just feel kind of like that guy in Clerks who's like staring at that picture in the mall, trying to see a sailboat. Like, what are some of these shadows? Like, is this like a Tyrannosaurus Rex arm or something? Let me grab a pen. Like, I mean, it just has this like narrow claw going up, which I don't know if that's it doesn't really look the hunter or anything to me. It's like more like a velociraptor, like somebody watched Jurassic Park or something, and then they're like, oh, we have this game that has monsters, and they just started drawing stuff. I think these are the beak of a crow. You can't really see it behind it, and there's like another beak, and you can kind of see the eye between the end and the T. And this is like an eye and a nose, and there's a mouth, so there's like a whole face here, and another face here. And I mean, this is kind of just I think I see an eye and like a really goofy face kind of right here, and another one up there. It's really weird. Like a lot of these shadows, I don't know what they are though. And the spiders are really obvious. There's not many spiders in the game though. They're only in like 3 or 4 rooms, I think. I like this look at Chris where he just looks really pissed off. It kind of reminds me of the bad ending of the game. Then you have the gun he's holding, which is really weird because it's got like an M4 style back here with like the dust cover kind of down and the grip, and like that looks like the forward assist and everything. And then it gets really blurry here. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. So like maybe he is, there's no M4 in this game either. And I don't know why this is like, maybe that was the pistol I used to think that was kind of like they were putting in. And then the end of it is like a pump action shotgun with the barrel and the wood furniture up here. And it's just really bizarre. And I don't know. He looks really good though, the veins popping out of him and stuff. And then on here, they got rid of the weird art and they just kept him. And another cool thing too is look at the back of it real quick. This is the face that's kind of on the cover of the other ones. One thing I always noticed, which I don't know if this is like how they recorded these back in the day or something, but these screenshots, you have the first room you start in, then this room is right off of the first floor mansion hall, and this is right back behind that door. This is right back behind that door, and this is also just off the hall. So all these rooms actually connect. So it's almost like somebody the spiders are way later in the game, but it's weird that like they didn't vary anything up. They didn't, like, why not put a picture of the lab? Why not put a picture of something like you're gonna buy this game, and all you see is this house, and I think all you see is, oh, they do have Chris, I guess, but I mean, I don't know, they could have really shown you a lot more. I mean, they had all this space back here. I don't know what's on the back of this one. Some more screenshots. Yeah, oh, it shows you a screenshot RE2. But, I don't know. Inside this, too, I always used to wonder when I was younger, I would look at this. And I actually had this. I got this, this wasn't the first copy of Resident Evil I got, but I found this later on at like a Babbage's or Electronics Boutique in like '98. And my stepbrother told me that when my dad took this to the mall, I had to cry and try and get $15 to buy this that they had sitting there. And yeah, it's great too, because you had all these instruction books, and you know, it would actually give you something to read. They had like the character bios. I'll talk about those in a minute too. But you have these pictures on the box, and of course black PlayStation CDs. And this looks very much like the lab that you see later on. Like, this is the door you walk in, and then, you know, there's a smash thing, and this would actually probably be kind of from the Tyrant's point of view. Then you have this room, which I don't think appeared anywhere in the game, and it always used to bother me. I would look at it, and it almost looks like if you were stepping out of the room that has the broken shotgun, and this would bring you to like the plant tentacle room and stuff, and this would bring you over to that other save room down the hall. But there's no smashed out window in there, and I don't think that room has a tile floor, and there's a huge pool of blood. Like, I don't think any of this ever happens. So I don't know what the inspiration was, if this is just some concept art or something they thought looked cool. But as a kid, I was like, where is this in the game? Because I figured like it had to be in the game, like there was a reason they would put that in there. Not that they would just like throw something together that looked neat or looked appropriate. Like, I thought everything would have to be accurate, you know, when I was younger. But I don't know, these character bios are just like, it's what interests me too, because you read a lot of this stuff, and you know, like they're just so strange. I've heard people talk different stuff about Resident Evil 2, and like a lot of people say, like when Revelations came out, that Barry's family isn't canon. And if you look right here, it says Barry trusted an ally but had some trouble with his wife and 2 daughters. So the girls from Revelations 2, they are canon. And Joseph, Chris, I like this art of Chris. I'll probably talk about later how they did the, they changed him so much, I feel, for the remake on GameCube. And I hate the way he looked on remake. Like, he didn't bother me that much in Code Veronica, how he looked, but I don't know, I just feel like the jump from Code Veronica to remake was so weird. I always thought it was funny, too, when I was a kid, I'd read these, and they have these blood types. And when they do the intro for the game, too, they have the different blood types. And I never got why they would put that. And I found out later that it's like a Japanese thing of pretty much like your blood type is like a personality thing. So they put it in Japanese games, but it comes over here and they just like, they translate it. But it's like, why are you telling me this? Because we don't have that kind of like horoscope in our culture. Another thing too, people were telling me that Brad Vickers was never called Chickenheart, when right here in the, you know, this is the original manual, he's called Chickenheart, and it's not just from the books or anything. It's actually like canon. Here's something too that I always found funny with these Japanese guys. So this guy is 5'9", and you know, he's like wearing all this gear and stuff, and 134 pounds. I mean, there's men who are 5'9" that are 134 pounds, but that is extremely skinny. I mean, like no muscle mass and no body fat really. I mean, there'd be like nothing to you. And it's not like he's the one guy. Like, this guy is 5'8", he's 138. Rebecca's 93. I don't really know how a woman's weights work. Like, Wesker, I think, makes kind of, like, he's 6 foot, 186. Like, that would be okay for some people. Like, 77, you know, like these ones aren't too bad. Like, okay, 5'10", 159 pounds. Like, that's not that big. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's mostly all I have to say about this. This is a weird thing too. This guy's like a chemist, and it says, you know, he's the guy who's decapitated. He's a mere shadow of his former self, and he is an expert in chemistry. Wonders why his chemical experience would be necessary in Raccoon City. So it's like he wasn't even a cop, according to this. He was just like, you know, well, he's 45, so he's pretty old. But it's like they just went to like Dow Chemical, and you know, found a guy, and they're like, hey, you know, why don't you join a police force? And it makes no sense because it's like, yeah, it's a game about bioweapons and stuff, and he's a chemist, but he's like on the police force side of it. Like, what is the police force doing hiring chemists? And Rebecca's the medic, so it doesn't make sense at all. I don't know. Like Sniper makes sense. This guy's like a, you know, a leader. You know, Chris is like ex-military. Which I think that's another funny thing people say too, is like, you know, he's 20. Oh wait, that's Joseph. So Chris is, oh, he's 25, but it's like he's 25. He was in the Air Force, and now he's a cop, and I don't know, he's done a lot for, you know. And if he was a pilot too, he probably had to go to college. So, you know, it's, you know, his backstory is, you know, he's like an Air Force pilot, but he already had time to go to college, join the Air Force, become a pilot. I mean, from the later games too, they kind of make it out like he has a bunch of military like combat experience and stuff too. It's a lot to get done at 25. I don't know. And even I think Rebecca is like 18 or something. Yeah, so she's 18 and she's already, well, she's supposed to be like a child genius or something, but like that's insane. And it was blood type AB, which I think is pretty rare. But whatever that means in personality stuff. But yeah, there's a strategy guide. I don't have that. I'll probably buy that at some point, because that'd be pretty cool to have the official guide. I know there's also a Game Fan did a guide for the director's cut. I was playing this one recently. This game is actually really hard. And I read an interview with Shinji Mikami, and he said that the game is easier in Japanese, and they made the American one harder for rentals. And I wonder what they did to make it harder. And I always thought that this didn't have the automatic aiming, because it was just older, and it was something they had to add in newer games. I guess it originally had it in Japan, and they took it out. And I've been playing this, and I got to where the hunters are, and it's just like a nightmare, because they jump over you, and they do like a jumping running slash thing, and they get completely behind you. And with no 180 quick turn and the slow turning, I mean, they just kind of keep zigging past, and you can't even shoot them. Very difficult with the hunters. So I mean, if I can get past that part and get to the lab, I'll probably be able to beat it, so I'll try that tonight. But yeah, I'll probably beat it this time. I don't think I'll ever play this version again, because when you play the director's cut, this version, you automatically aim. And it also comes with a demo of RE2. If I find a way to record, which I probably will, I'll probably do a video of me playing that, and I'll play the RE2 demo, because I think this has some differences where it's so early. You know, and RE2 had a weird development where they made 1.5 and all that. And then there was the greatest hits version, and that's the best version because that had the dual shock support and the automatic aim. And you can play the arrangement with the different items and stuff, but I don't really play that because it just confuses me so much. So that's a really good version. Then there's also the, oh jeez, try and get where the, play on it. The remake for GameCube, and I like the art on this. Like, that's good. Just this game was fantastic. This was just amazing. And see, like Chris, he looks weird. I hate how he looks compared to the old Chris. Like, this didn't bother me so much, but you know, this was just like, ugh. And I got the guide for it too. And I bought the guide because I'm trying to get like a poster collection. So I've been buying all the guides that have posters. And the poster for that's over here. And you'll actually see Weird Chris again. So I got this one. This comes with that RE1 remake guide, which I really like. You know, this poster's kind of okay. And I got this RE4 one. This came with the like GameCube version of the RE4 guide. I really like that. I'm gonna try and get the wrinkles out of it because it was folded in the strategy guide, and I guess you can kind of iron them out, so I'll maybe try that. But I want to try it on kind of a crappier poster for, because I don't want to buy another guide, and I really want to make sure I have this one and not ruin it. So I'll practice on something else first. I got the comics all framed too, which I'm going to kind of hang all this stuff up, and I want to really display it. I just moved and I have a lot more space to kind of like pull this stuff out and put it somewhere. There's some videos online for all these comics, the last 5, and I think you can find them all kind of digitally too. But this one, which has that art again,